What's up, guys? Kevin here for another video. In this video, I'm going to be comparing these two iPods, the 80 gig Nano and the iPod Touch 4th generation. And I'm going to start off with the iPod Touch. What I like about the iPod Touch here is that, number one, it's accessible for the visually impaired and or blind to use. So, but the problem with this particular one here, is that it crashes when I use VoiceOver. And I will sometimes use VoiceOver because I am visually impaired, and I mainly use it when I surf the web on Safari, and the print is so small and I can't read it because it's so small, so I would turn VoiceOver on, but when I scroll through a page, the Safari app would either crash or the iPod will freeze. But at least Apple, did something right. They actually made iPod Touches accessible for the blind and visually impaired. Another thing they put on here is the zoom. They made it easier for plain visually impaired people to use. It's called Zoom Text, I think it's called. I'm not sure what it was called. It makes the print a lot larger. It's kind of like Zoom Text, but I don't remember what it was called. But that can be helpful for some people too. Another thing I do like is that you can download apps, you can download games and other cool apps like Mog, Skype. You can talk to your friends. You can go on you can do your social networking, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, you name it. But one of my complaints is the home apps here. Reminders, newsstand, calculator. You don't need it. And that takes up a majority of your space on your iPod. And folks, I would like to show you something. Since this is an 8 gig, technically it's not an 8 gig, because if you look on here, it says it says capacity 6.4 gig, and I have nothing left for me to download anything. There's nothing for me to download because it's all taken up because I have music. And look how many applications I have that I've downloaded. Only 7 photos. And it's not that much. And 648 songs. And I am a big music lover. But, yes, you're probably thinking, oh, I should get a bigger gig capacity iPod. But I can't afford it. I know the iPod Touch 5th generation is out. And, you can get that in 32 and 64 and also in 16. But still, in 16, it's still not enough. So you're better off getting an iPod Touch 5th generation, 32 or 64. And those seem to run faster than the iPod Touch 4th generation. So, yeah. If I left something out that is important about the iPod Touch, please comment. And I'm going to move along on this guy over here, the iPod Nano 80 gig. What I like about this, there's so much space for you to put music on. The downside, it's not accessible for the blind or visually impaired. If you're a music lover, you can put as much as you want as long as it's 80 gigs worth. There's no home apps, that's nice, that you don't need. But it does have its own kind of settings. There are and the nice thing is on this particular iPod is that there are 3 games that are built in, but yet they don't take up anything. And I'm going to compare the amount of space compared to what I've shown you on the iPod Touch to this one. Whoops, wrong thing. Sorry, it's hard to focus this camera. Let me show you extras. Oops, that's not it. Settings. Whoops. Settings I should go to. I'm sorry. settings. And I'm gonna go to where it says, hang on, and I'm gonna show you a little bit something in a second. And it says 69.0 gig. Yeah, 69.0 gig free. That's what it said. In case you can't catch that. And I'm gonna tap about, and I'm gonna show you. 5.2 gig used, and there's 69.0 gig free. And this is what I like about these kind of iPods. And there's so much more space that you can put on here. Even a couple of movies won't fill it up all the way. You can even store even some more of that. And there are also 3 games, and they're not taking up any space of the iPod. I really wish these kind of iPods were accessible for somebody visually impaired or blind, but you have to. I think you can, but you have to synchronize it to your iTunes or computer, and toggle with the settings on the iPod to your computer. You can download apps, but you have to. But I'm not really sure if you can do it now. But back then, when these were popular, you could download apps through iTunes on your computer. I do believe that they still make these particular iPods, but they're 160 gigs or 80 gigs. I used to have an iPod Nano 4 gig, and I gave that to my mom because she had nothing to listen to, portable, but it was just like this one. And yeah, you can also what else I was going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah. Oh, and by the way, this iPod can lock like the iPod Touch, but instead of it saying like slide to unlock like a touch, you hold down the play button and the screen will go black, and on the top there's a switch. If it turns orange, it's locked and it's turned off also. So, but the sad thing about this iPod is that the headphone jack is broken. I mean, yeah, I was quite disappointed that I can't listen to this iPod with headphones because the headphone jack on this one is broken. But I don't know if Apple can replace the headphone jack or not. And yeah, well, alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If I left any information about these devices out, can you please comment? You can like or dislike or subscribe. Thank you. Have a good one.